It's Pariah Pete. Pariah like Mariah with a P. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Y'all know what the fuck going on? Royal Life Productions in this motherfucker.
Previously 3 years. I wrote my first song in like 3rd grade though, 4th grade. It's always been like my passion, something that I enjoyed like ever since like my earliest years, just because I had all older siblings. So they were always just playing like early 2000s rap or early 2000s R&B. So I just like grew up with music and then started creating it seriously like 2016.
So you said since you was 3 years old, how did that come about?
Just like I said, just from having older siblings who like all were just playing shit, just like,
So,
50 Cent, fucking Nelly, like whatever was playing in the early 2000s, that's all I was listening to. Even talking by then, I was a late speaker actually, which Albert Einstein was also a late speaker. I didn't start speaking until I was like 4 years old because I'm a first generation American, so everyone in my house was speaking Polish. Cause like my entire, like both of my parents, all my siblings were born in Poland. I was the first person in my family born in the States. So they were all speaking Polish in my home, and then at school I was being taught English. So because of that, like I had to go to like a speech counselor because I wouldn't speak because my brain couldn't decide which language to go. So as soon as I stuck with English, I just like went all the way with that. And I don't even speak Polish, but it's like still in like my family tradition and shit.
So how old were you when you first hit the booth?
Like 11.
You hit the booth at 11?
Yeah, or 12 or some shit. Yeah, it's still on SoundCloud too. I gotta somehow delete that shit. I'm literally like a child in the fucking photo. I still got baby face, but I have like the baby cheeks, bro. I have like this fucking snapback on and just like a plain white shirt. That was the first time I ever recorded. I remember being nervous as fuck. And I paid like $40 for the song.
Yeah, was it dope?
Nah, I was 11, bro. Like, I mean, it was like, it showed potential and it showed like determination, but it wasn't like super dope or nothing. Yeah, no, that first song was not dope though.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, barely. I mean, I remember the title of it. I'm not gonna name drop it because I don't want motherfuckers to find it. You could really find it though. Like, yeah, it's very easy to find on SoundCloud. It's a different rap name, but if you know my history, then you know it.
So where do you get your name from?
Pariah Pete. It means like an outcast, which is like how I always felt just like growing up in school and shit. Which is like why I feel like I resonated with music so much and why I started making music, to like feel like I was like a part of something and like create something that people could feel like they're a part of through like resonating with my lyrics and like my stories and whatever. And like now I don't really feel like the outcast anymore because I found all like my closest friends through the music community. So I started making music feeling like the outcast, and I like carry on that title for people to connect to like my stories and whatnot, but I don't feel like the outcast anymore. But it comes from like Indian culture, pariah.
That's different. You'll never hear that.
Yeah, it was literally, I was in history class and I found that word. Was I in history? I was in some shit. Because I knew I wanted to incorporate Pete in my name, because like my government is Peter, so like I wanted to like somehow like incorporate my real name in it, and then just like Pariah Pete just like rolls off the tongue super well, and like it's dope.
So you have any new project drop anytime soon?
I just dropped one. So July 13th, a month ago exactly today, I dropped my like debut album Mercury. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, SoundCloud, all that. And I put like my all into that. It's only 7 tracks, so it's like short and sweet, but I say a lot in that because like a lot of it has to do with like stories and experiences that I've been going through this past year, which like started, it's named Mercury after my 1987 Mercury Marquis, which is my first car ever. And I got hit by a drunk driver which totaled my whip, and that was like the catalyst of my world kind of just like getting flipped on its head. After that, like I graduated high school, I got broken up with, and my mom moved out of state, so I was like living in Arizona without any family. And so I started couch surfing. I was staying on his couch for a little bit. I was staying like in a fucking trap house, bro. Like I had no home for an entire year, like no room for an entire year. And so like the album goes into like a lot of the emotions and like experiences that occurred during that year.
So what did you do to get out of that situation?
Got a crib, signed a lease. So yeah, I mean just saving, just keeping my head straight. That shit, it was a test every single day because like all you could do at that moment is take everything day by day. Like when you don't have a long-term plan, when you don't know where you're gonna stay, like a month from then or a couple weeks from then, a couple nights from then, like all you can do is just like live in the moment and take it day by day and prepare yourself for whatever like the possibilities are. Like when I was staying like in the trap or whatever, we got evicted and raided by the police, which like I was not expecting that. I thought I was gonna be able to stay there for another 6 months. And then so like that started a process where I was like staying with him, and like I literally had like 2 other people that I knew I could stay with for a couple nights at a time. But like I said, I was taking everything day by day, so I ended up staying with him and like paying like rent to his mom or whatever for a little bit just to stay on their couch. So yeah.
Good thing you out of that situation, though.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people don't really get out of that situation.
Yeah, that's just tough. It's a cycle. So I'm just blessed to finally, and I appreciate like having my own, like I have an apartment now. Like I appreciate it way more because I know what that's like to not have your own spot. And I know like how much that can fuck with your head, especially if you're in an unhealthy environment. Like for instance, like at the very end of like, because I was couch surfing for like an entire year, and at the very end, the last 3 months of my couch surfing phase, I started staying with my ex's parents, which like, was a very unhealthy environment for me. Which like they're super loving, they're super caring. Like they've been like a second set of parents to me, like ever since I dated this girl. But just like imagine going through like a bad breakup or whatever, and then like moving back in with her parents. Like she wasn't living there or whatever. But like you just feel like you're like every single night when I was coming home from work, like I felt like I was walking into my past, and it was like, damn, like this ain't my crib. Spending like Christmas with them, like when she comes home, like that was an unhealthy environment for me emotionally and mentally. Physically, it was good though. It was like a nice place. Like I had my own bed and everything, and they were caring. But it's just like that fucked my head a lot.
What did she think about it?
She was chill. Yo, I had to thank her a lot because like she literally like put her pride aside, or like however she might have felt about me or our relationship, and she's like, damn, like I still care about him and he has nowhere else to go. Like yeah, he could stay in my old room because she like goes to ASU. Like she's in Tempe. She don't even be staying like in Phoenix anymore. So thank God she let me stay because I had nowhere else to go at that point.
So to release all your emotion, you use music as a tool.
Yeah, and a lot of the albums like super like vulnerable and honest, and like a lot of storytelling, and just like different emotions that I felt. Like the outro was like hopeful, but that was at like the trail end of like that phase where like I was starting to get my shit together. That's why that song's more hopeful. Track 4, Eyes Wide Shut, was like days after we got raided at the trap house that I was staying at, and like I was going through like the fucking worst. Like it goes through a lot of different phases.
So in the music industry, what genre can you put your music in?
Just rap, hip hop.
So what can your fans get out of your music?
My experiences, my emotions, fun songs with substance. So like shit they could still like have fun, like chant at shows or whatever, but it's not like some stupid bullshit. It's like actually shit with depth to it. Like even like my most like up tempo and like lit song at my shows, like I'm still saying shit. Like I'm not just like putting that away and like I don't know. Yeah, they just get me. Yeah. I just dropped one on August 1st for the song called Young, which I actually traveled out to LA to film. It was my director's idea. I've been working with the same director since like 2017, and he was just like, yo, like this track has like a super new feel to it. Like I want to go out of state because we've already filmed 7 other videos in Phoenix, and there are like only so many locations and spots that you could go to for certain vibes. And for this song, he was just like, I want to either go to LA or I want to go to New York. And LA just made more sense because he was moving out to LA at the time, and it's way closer. It's fucking, I could drive there. So I went out to LA with him for like a week. I helped him move, and then we filmed the video.
So how does it feel to being on stage though?
I black out. I'm like more so an introvert than anything, but like I love getting on stage just because like I've performed so many times in front of like sold out shows. I've like headlined festivals. I've opened up for bigger artists, and then I was in front of 20 people who have never met me before and left with new fans, with new connections, and still had them like turning up and like being engaged with my performance. So like when I get on stage, I've done it so many times that I just know what to do. Like that's all the realms of music shit. Like that's where I'm most confident is like when I'm on stage. And that's just like a test. It's a challenge every time. Like, how can I get this crowd to like feel more comfortable? Because some crowds are gonna be kind of stiff and like they might be like moving their head a little bit, but like, are they engaging? Like, are they saying the lyrics? Like, blah blah blah. So that shit's fun. I love performing.
So doesn't matter if it's just one person in the crowd or 200 people in the crowd?
It does for energy. Like for instance, this sold out Pub Rock, my album release show, July 20th at Pub Rock, which was sold out. that was 300 people that 250 of them bought tickets from me and have like personal connections or like just fuck with my music or whatever. So like when I get in front of those 300 people, they're giving me like the utmost amount of energy. They're giving me the utmost amount of energy. They're there to turn up, and I'm just feeding off their energy. Like I stage dived that night. They were singing lyrics for the album that had only been out for 6 days at that point, which was like a trip moment for me. And they were just going fucking crazy. Like, so when they're giving me that much energy, it's so much easier to just be like, give them 130% back versus like 3 people watching who are just kind of like, I'll still turn up and I'll still put on a good show, but like I just kind of feed off the crowd's energy. So like I could try and do as much as possible to get them to turn up and to get them to have fun, but at the end of the day, like I'm still feeding off their energy. So
have you had any fuck ups on stage lately? Not even lately.
Last fuck up was August 10th, 2018.
You remember?
Yeah, well, because that was the day we did our Crescent Ballroom show, which was sold out. That was when I was a part of a group. And I did the wrong lyrics to like, well, I did lyrics for one song. I did lyrics for one song over a completely different beat, and I was so faded on stage, it was fucked up. So I literally like, I was singing like I have this song called All Good. I was doing the All Good lyrics over like this song called Ruefully, like the Ruefully beat. So like I was doing the wrong lyrics, and then luckily like my homies were on stage and they caught me within like 10-20 seconds of me doing it. And then Xavier Wolf, when we opened up for Xavier Wolf, like I blanked out for like 5 seconds where like I looked back, and I always know I catch myself, and I've become so comfortable on stage where like I don't like allow it to like, oh, like I'm fucking up, like people are gonna notice. Like you could honestly fuck up a lot during your set and like people can't notice if you know how to brush it off well. You know what I'm saying? Or just like you could do a little shit. And I don't perform with lyrics behind me, so it's like when I'm not rapping, it's just the beat. You know what I'm saying? I don't perform over like the song because it's like a live performance. I'm not gonna just do the song. So yeah, that was my last fuck up. Was in August. Haven't fucked up since.
So what do you do to prevent that from happening?
I don't even know. Perform more. I don't listen to my songs before I get on stage because I already know them all so well. To be honest, like I've already done those songs so many times, and I don't have like the biggest catalog, so it's not like I don't have like. I mean, I've made hundreds of songs, but I'm not performing hundreds of songs. I'm performing the same like 15 to 20 or whatever. So like, I know all those lyrics like pretty well. So.
Or to the dream. So what are you hoping to take this music thing?
As far as I could fucking go, out of state. That's like my next move is like just start doing more out of state shows and just start to build an out of state following, because I already have such like from the ground up, I have a grassroots fucking following in Phoenix where like I've done different sold out shows. I could like go places and people will like know me or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, maybe Phoenix has a cap. I don't know yet, because I haven't hit the cap yet. I haven't hit the ceiling, but maybe it does have a ceiling where like you could only go so far in Phoenix. So right now I'm trying to set up more out-of-state shows. Like I've performed in Salt Lake City and I've performed in LA before, but I want to start doing that more often and getting in front of people in different states who have like never heard my music and converting them into supporters and fans, whatever. So that's the next move, but I'm trying to go as fucking far as possible, bro. My whole dream, like, going on tour would be amazing, like a real tour, not just like some small ass tour where it's like I could set up a tour right now, but it wouldn't be like a real tour. I'm talking like a tour where it's like I'm going to fucking Europe, I'm going to fucking Michigan or whatever, and doing like 500 people, 1,000 people. So I'm just trying to take it as far as possible. I want to make this a career. It's the whole goal.
So what made you want to get into the music business?
Just for the passion of the music. At the end of the day, it was just like I was making all these songs in my room, and I was like finally starting to get confident in them and like, okay, this is what I want to do. So the only way to go about that is to start posting it, promoting myself, doing all these little things that like really gets your foot in the door with the music business. But this year I've taken it like more into my hands, because I used to be a part of a group, but now that I'm a solo artist, I'm like taking care of like setting up my own shows and like putting down the deposit by myself, organizing the artists by myself, and like so I've been interacting with more of the business now that I'm a solo artist and I don't have other people doing that for me. But yeah,
What are you doing differently that everybody else isn't?
You said what?
So what are you doing differently that everybody else isn't?
I feel like just being like there are people being real and shit, so I don't even want to say real, but just like I don't know, like unapologetically like myself. Like I'm not trying to I'm not trying to chase no sound. Like I'm not trying to chase the current sound. Like a lot of people, I'll listen to someone's mixtape and it'll like, or like I'll listen to someone's project and it'll sound like Playboy Cardi or like it sound like this or that. And it's okay to have those comparisons and those like similarities. But like I feel like those people are making those type of songs like intentionally, and they're like trying to make the next like club hit or like make the next big banger by like chasing whatever just worked last time and whatever's in that formula. So what I do that's different, I feel like it's just I just do me. Whoever fucks with it, whoever doesn't, and just be more so every single day unapologetically myself. And I think that's what attracts people. So I'm not no persona, like I'm just me.
So how do you promote your music?
Just like honestly, it's gotten to this point. Okay, so I started off by like, just like I said, like grassroots, where like I'd hit up the first 5 or 10 people who supported my music. Every single time I dropped a song, I would like I'd send it to those first 5 or 10 people who like fucked with me from the jump, like the foundation. And that worked for the first like 2 years, where like it grew from like 5 people to 20 people to 30 people to 100 people to blah blah blah. And so I used to go into people's inboxes and not just like copy and pasting a link, because that shit never works. Like that has a fucking 5% success rate or some bullshit. I would establish real conversations. Yo, how you been? Blah blah blah. Since the last time I see you. Blah blah blah. I just dropped a new song. Is there any chance I could get your opinion on it? They're gonna say yes or no. Most of the time they say yes. You send the song. You wait for them to say like what they gotta say about it. So that's how I promoted at first. But like I've gotten to the point where like people are actually looking out for the music, and all I gotta do is let them know when and where it's dropping, and people are gonna peep it. Like this whole album showed me that. Like I didn't even know my album dropped until someone tagged me in a fucking post that they're listening to it. I was like, oh shit, this shit dropped. Like, so it was supposed to drop at midnight on all platforms, and it dropped at like 8 p.m. So like, that means like people were already looking at my name the day before, the night before.
So how do you not know when your own album dropped?
Well, I selected midnight. So it was July 12th, and it was supposed to come out right at midnight for local time. It said Eastern or local time, and I clicked local time, and it came out Eastern time, which was like 9 o'clock. So, I don't know, that was a distro kid. My fucking distribution service fucking up.
So who influenced you to do music?
Okay, a lot of different people. And it's always changing, like every single day. Right now, the biggest is like Kendrick's always been my number one, just because like Kendrick is like so well-rounded as a fucking universal great ass artist who can like turn up, storytell, fucking like he literally is the most well-rounded rapper I like have ever heard. But like in the beginning it was like Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, were like the early 2000s rappers that I listened to a lot, and then like a bunch of other shit, but those 3 a lot. And then yeah, it grew into like I've gone through a lot of different phases where like sometimes I'd only listen to like New York 90s rap, where I was like only listening to Biggie, Nas, like Company Flow, like these like underground groups and shit. And then there were times where like I went to like the lighter shit, where I was listening to like Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, yeah, all kinds of people.
So right now, can you tell me who are your top 5 rappers?
Ah man, Kendrick. Okay, top 5 like greatest, or top 5 I've just been listening to?
It's up to you.
I'm just do listening. Yeah, I'm gonna do listening too. Kendrick. I'm gonna count Smino as a rapper. Yeah, Smino's a rapper. Kendrick, Smino, the God Fahim, Earl Sweatshirt. Who's taking the number 5 spot? Probably Andre 3000. Or just like Outcast in general. It's probably listening to recently.
So where can fans or anybody that's trying to look for you find you at?
Everywhere. Literally everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Tidal, SoundCloud, Google Play, Amazon Music, fucking Deezer, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Only thing I don't have, I think, is LinkedIn. It's the only shit I don't use. But I'm trying to be as accessible as possible to the everyday listener.
So right now, as an underground rapper, somebody will come up to you, drop 50 G's to sign you, would you sign?
Depends. I gotta read the contract. Where is that 50 G's going? Is the 50 G's going to promotion? Is the 50 G's going to a tour? Is it going to an album budget, a music video budget? It would depend, but most likely, I need money behind me to like do some real shit. I've been self-funding all my own. Like I launched my first merch brand last month that I like used my own money to launch. So if I had like a business opportunity where I have someone like waving $50,000 in front of my face, as long as it's a good deal, I'm gonna take it. But a lot of deals be fucked up. Nah, go ahead.
What's the hardest part of being an artist?
The fucking mental and spiritual drain from it. And just like, I don't know, every artist is different, but like all artists are like kind of the same in a certain way. Like obviously we're all like emotional enough where we want to be creating, you know what I'm saying? We feel like we have something to say. So I feel like just the toughest part is like all the fucking extra shit, all the overthinking, all the doubt, fucking all that shit, to be honest. I feel like there's a better answer for that, but that's all I got. Stream Mercury, please, you know what I'm saying? All platforms. I just dropped the Young music video, which is on YouTube. I got the Take Your Time music video dropping around my 20th birthday this month. Don't have a specific date yet. More shows, more visuals, more merch, all that.
Are we good?
I bet.